Namaste and welcome to Sundays with Kaivalyadhama. Today I have a special guest with us, Professor R S Bhogal. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Professor has authored many books, including Yoga and Mental Health, and is one of the most sought after researchers in the yoga field. It's my honor and privilege to have this opportunity of asking Bhogalji many questions that are prevalent in today's chaotic lifestyle. And our topic for today is meditation. Bhogalji, welcome and thank you for your time. So without much ado, let's get started by asking Bhogalji, Professor Bhogal, sir, what is meditation?
Meditation is self-search and self-healing to sensory feedback when triggered through comprehensive awareness that goes up to cellular level and neuronal level, with all possibilities getting expressed over the period of time. In a nutshell, it is self-healing on all levels.
There is so many different theories and definitions about meditation. For example, I've been to Osho's meditation sessions. I've been to many other teachers, including Mr. Krishnamurthy's lectures on what meditation is. And there's so much, not confusion, but different answers on meditation and state of meditation. For example, even in Ashtanga Yoga, they have something known as Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So is meditation all of them, or how does it all fit in, and what's the right word for meditation?
Well, as per classical approach, yoga samadhi. Yoga includes, in fact, yoga is samadhi. Unlike what we think, yoga is only asana and pranayama, bandhas and mudras. The state of yoga is samadhi. But then these are the constituents. These are the constituents of samadhi. Asana, pranayama and all that. But where they go, the final product, the very effect is yoga.
Okay.
That is samadhi. And therefore, meditation is something where all these things culminate into.
And can meditation be practiced by everyone, including beginners, or do you need a certain amount of training to start the process?
Well, some preparation is needed, mental preparation. Shankaracharya has said, Yoga sa prathamam dwaram vanga nirodha parigraha nirasha cha nireha cha nitya ekanta shilata. If you have 5 things first observed in your own personality, number 1, list of verbalization or verbal actions, you may call it. Second, not to think about all valuables you have. Third, not to expect anything, not to get dependent on anyone, at least attitudinally. And then as far as possible, many times you can go into silence. And at least before meditation, these 5 things should always be there because they prepare a kind of mental set for meditation. Otherwise, you can start with simply sitting at one corner, day after day, same time. You have to sit every day. Over the period of time, say 5 to 6 months, you feel meditation is happening. Now, this technique, incidentally, was very much liked by Swami Vivekananda. So, without preparation also, but you need a lot of patience. But with preparation, meditation becomes easier. Also, some other preparations include Om recitation, as Lord Krishna says, or Kriya Yoga type of practices, or any spiritual practices. At least sitting calm for some time before meditation would also help.
So, how you just mentioned to us that there is a form of meditation, or there are certain techniques you can do towards meditation. So, could you explain this further to us? Meditation is done through feeling abstract way, anything, any concept, etc. How would a layperson like myself put this into my practice without getting stuck in the theory and actually experiencing it?
Just to give an example, you just stroll in a garden. Frame by frame, you have to feel whatever is there and your environment without any judgment, without any decision, without any analysis or mental work. Just feel. That's all. It gives you some kind of feeling. Now, this feeling is always abstract in nature. And once we remain with that abstract kind of awareness for some time, we move towards meditation.
Now, that feeling that you're talking about, sometimes that feeling is so overwhelming that it's kind of not wanting you to do meditation. It like feels like you're scared, you're getting an anxiety attack, or you're losing your breath. Is that normal? And if it is, how do we address it? I mean, am I really getting an attack, or is it just an illusion?
Well,
where does it start? Where does it stop?
Well, in the beginning, any kind of feeling would do. Sarvam chinta samavarti yogino ridhi vartate. Yat tattve nishitam chetas tattu dhyanam prachakshate. That is what Goraksh Shatak says. Any thought, any emotion, many things are happening in our mind, or rather brain. Many things are happening. Mind conceives ideas. So many ideas may be there. But then if we choose any one of them, just go to the root of it, we find that we come to a stage where abstractness is felt. Abstractness, that means, yes, I understand, but I cannot describe. Something is there. Yes, I can feel. Now this slowly moves into meditation, and you are in meditation. Of course, it needs some sort of patience and perseverance.
I agree with that, but I think would it be beneficial for us as students to maybe have a teacher who can guide us through this? Do you think it's a good idea for us to have a teacher when we start the process?
Yes, it is necessary, because you have to transcend instructions. And then you enter into meditation. Otherwise, you remain in the technique of meditation. Now, teacher would help you move beyond instructions. But still, he or she cannot lead you to meditation. It is you who can go into meditation. He can only guide you. Teacher can guide you. And it is necessary. Otherwise, we never go beyond techniques. Techniques are made so simpler and so presentable, worthy of absorption only by Guru, according to the personality of a student.
And when is the best time to do meditation? Is there a specific time, like a morning, afternoon, a night, or does it depend on when you need it?
Well, in the morning, it is considered that we are not helped, because already there are so many sanskars or impressions getting aroused very easily in the morning, and then we can see them just moving out of our mind. Because detox, mental detox or catharsis is inherent part, nay, it is most important part in meditation. It should happen in the morning, it is easy. In the evening, since you are tired, you have so many things, worries and stresses and whatnot. Therefore, it becomes difficult for us to feel it. We tend to react. In the morning, it is not so. Therefore, morning time is better. After certain practice, any time is best time, of course.
Right. So, is it okay to meditate more than once a day?
Yes, as per your requirement. If you are a lawyer or if you are in helping profession, I would recommend twice or thrice. You can carry along without meditation also, but then over the period of time we have to pay heavy price. So as per your requirement, at least once a day meditation is must, I feel, for everyone.
So, sir, so doing meditation once a day is very important. Transcending is a word you use quite often. So, what is the meaning of transcendence in comparison or opposed to moving away from or getting rid of a habit? How do we look at this concept?
Yes, you will notice that often we have object of meditation as transcendental one. That is, say, Lord Shiva with Ganges and with the moon and such kind of thing, which is never often seen. Because when we look at this transcendental kind of image of gods, then we become transcendental because abstract awareness overpowers us. We say, yes, yes, no question asked. Yes. Normally, therefore, we have such objects. And then it is very easy to transcend because we feel it through abstract awareness, not through concrete awareness. Concrete awareness is the one where we can define things. This is so and so, like scientific kind of thing, explanation, exposition. But a stage comes where, oh, this is oh, or aha feeling. And there nothing is there except pratyaya, tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. We continue with that. Therefore, all kinds of meditation should culminate into this abstract awareness where we cannot identify it into proper words, but we can know what it is and we can continue. And while we continue, we also feel good because it leads us slowly towards meditation.
And is there a space or a place that you suggest we should do meditation, or it can be anywhere once you understand the concept? Or do you suggest you start in a quiet place and then take that meditation into a busy lifestyle? The reason I'm asking you this question is because sometimes people say I didn't have the right space to do meditation, or I wanted to do it but it was too noisy, or a call came, or something else happened. How do we address a pattern that maybe comes up quite often in our lives?
Yes, for beginners at least, it is necessary to have meditation in solitude. That is, in a secluded place. One room should be allocated for it. And if you cannot do that, at least one corner of the room, and you have to have meditation, you cannot do meditation. Meditation happens. We only prepare ourselves for meditation. And preparation is done through different techniques. Say, pratyahara is often used for that. And there are so many other techniques, dharana and so many other techniques are available by which we prepare ourselves. And once we prepare ourselves, a stage comes where abstract awareness happens. We call it pratyaya, and then meditation happens. And therefore, one corner of the room would also be all right. Day after day, you have to be there at the same time, same enthusiasm, same, say, a kind of full faith in it that is necessary. If full faith is not there, still you get something, but it will take some time for you to get entrenched into the spirit of meditation.
So having discipline, having that hunger and the want and the need to find your own internal patterns, answers, is an important part of the journey.
Yes.
There
Very
is no
important.
shortcut. Like you can't take a meditation pill, can you?
Yes, it is possible, but once you have a lot of experience of your own into meditation, then we have some simple yet very, very effective short techniques that would help you immediately. Because it so happens that during our busy schedule, we are lost into so many things. And then there is a very important interview or a presentation, and you say, I'm not prepared. Well, just go into meditation within 2-3 minutes, you can get integrated. But it is only possible when you have your mainstream meditation done every day, or rather, meditation happening every day. Then these short term techniques would help. Otherwise, there is no shortcut.
Wow. And we know, I mean, we've read the benefits of meditation. We know it helps us a lot in different ways. But you have often suggested that don't chase the benefit, if I've got it right. How would you help somebody who wants to meditate for the purpose of the benefit, but then at the same time during meditation, it's not about chasing that. It's about, I guess, how would you describe that? Is it feeling the space or transcending? How would you?
Well, experience of meditation comes first. If you have fairly good practice of meditation, you have patients coming to you, non-reactive type of responses are there, and your awareness is on the rise on the whole. And therefore, you achieve so many things when your awareness expands. For example, better autonomic balance, better emotional balance, and there are so many other things as we see in this slide.
And I had asked you this question just a few minutes back, but how do we transcend the fears or, like I said, the anxiety during a meditation session? For example, there was a time when I used to get scared of even sitting in meditation because I knew that feeling is going to come, that emotion is going to come. So how do you work with somebody like that?
Actually, in olden India, even children used to be taught such techniques. But somehow our education system became such where only concrete kind of things were given a lot of importance. And slowly we got divorced from all that which was Oriental. That is the truth. In meditation, you need to have some sort of feeling, abstract awareness. In meditation, whenever we just feel as if we are entering, first thing to happen is so many thoughts and emotions, lost memories, wishes, repressed ones, and even suppressed ones, they come to the surface of mind and we become disturbed. Even fears would come, which are there inside our brain in coded form. They get expressed into real fears. Actually, they are not real, but you feel them so. And we stop meditation. Actually, that is the very much inherent part of meditation. It is important. Therefore, we have to take it for granted that these things would come. Because after that only we have greenery. But normally people think that from the beginning to end, we should have nice feeling, everything. And that is what visualization and imagery based meditations are doing. but they will not give you much. That is the fact. But when you are into real yogic meditation, then first cleansing takes place because they are there within you. And once sufficient amount of cleansing or catharsis or detox happens on the mental level and also on the physical level, then only you feel kind of absolute joy. Yoga is the one which removes all kinds of miseries through feeling. Once we feel, we accept, and then we transcend. That is the transcendence. If we do not accept, do not feel fully, we cannot transcend. And therefore, in Hindi, often it is said that, "Aap kya jano, kambakht aapne pi hi nahi." So you should know first what it is, experience it fully. All that is happening within you. And then you transcend. So experiencing everything is not forbidden in yoga, unlike popular belief that you should not do that, you should not do that, you should not enjoy this, that is bad. It is not so. There is nowhere it is written. On the other hand, even Bhagavad Gita says that raga dvesha viktestu vishyanindriyesharan atmavashe vidhayatma prasadam adhigachati. It means the test is when, while experiencing all types of enjoyments through your senses, still you remain calm and quiet and balanced fully. That is something possible when you actually transcend attachment and antipathy. These two important things. And then enjoy the whole world, because then the sanskars or impression will not be created. Ego involvement will not be there, because this is the problem with ego involvement which troubles us. When we are detached and when we do not have any ill will towards others, well, ego involvement is not there, and therefore impressions will not be formed. And then that is real test of a yogi. Not that everything is fine and he is calm and quiet. Amidst all kinds of problems, if he can keep cool, he is real yogi.
That's really important that you've touched upon. Yoga doesn't mean debunking or letting go of everything. In the same way, suppose now I'm meditating and I have a fear that comes. Most of the commercial meditations we find online, or guided meditations, they ask us to debunk the emotion or the fear. But you're saying transcend it. In my understanding, transcend means let that emotion be there. It is what it is, but it is not you. You've moved to a different level. It's like you're on a higher mountain and you're just looking at it from a distance. Would that be a correct way of describing it, or how would you?
Let me explain a little bit. It is correct what you say. Let us see the definition of pratyahara in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Swa vishaya asamprayoge chitta sarupanukar ivendriyanam pratyahara. Pratyahara means, see, whenever you do a particular task at hand, naturally you wean yourself away from the other task. You cannot do all the tasks at a time. And if you do, it is only mechanical things you can do. Like same way you just run one instrument, the other one in orchestra, it is possible. Otherwise, one job correctly done and then you do the other, this is what all experts are telling. But when you do everything together, it is not possible. So we have to wean our all senses away from the other works so that we can concentrate on one. And for that, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, concept of pratyahara is there. We eat through all five senses. That is a kind of eating. Five senses is a kind of eating. What they want, the object of pleasures. And thereby we are disturbed. We think that we are enjoying, but in fact we are disturbed. Time is gone, finished. What we need to do is, we need to wean all the senses away from their object in a positive way. Now you will ask me, what positive way? Should we stop it? That is a very, very nice kind of, say, odor is coming and it's a nice flavor emanating from the kitchen, and I should say myself, no, 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 I will not. I am yogi. I don't want. You cannot, because you are suppressing your emotions, your feeling, your urges. Yoga says, no, no way, this way. You have to eat in such a way, complete mindfulness should be there. And then a time would come when you say, I don't want it. Oh, I have seen it. In Hindi, often they call it, अरे मुझे मत बताइए, मैं ये सब तैरा हुआ हूँ. Means I have transcended. So how I have experienced it, felt it, completely enjoyed it, and now I see that there is nothing there. Such kind of pratyahara techniques are available. Amongst them, there is one very nice technique, sense pratyahara, I often give. Sense pratyahara, that you have to feel whatever is happening at different sense organs as you breathe in and breathe out. And thereby you wean yourself away from the object of pleasure, and then you can go within. It is a technology, and then meditation is possible. A kind of distancing. Nowadays, social distancing is there. Positive distancing.
Right. Nice. And that brings me to another very important question. Nowadays, there's so much of pressure on people to look and act a certain way. In a nutshell, everybody thinks they are wrong, they are bad, they're negative. And most people are living out of guilt. For example, in today's era of lockdowns, where some people are suffering more than others, and the ones who are privileged enough to not go through lack of money or lack of freedom usually feel guilty that they're enjoying life. So guilt, not being good enough, these are all emotions we can transcend through meditation. Would that be accurate in saying that?
Yes. You see, objects, sense pleasure will not give you real peace. If you say that, well, this is a kind of sermons many people forward and you're also doing the same thing. Actually not. Because no person, yoga says, is responsible for your pleasure, for your good time, and no situation is responsible for your good time. Same way, no situation is responsible for your misery, and no person is responsible for your happiness.
Wow.
Then what is responsible? Your own kleshas, inborn afflictions within you, which are responsible for that. These are 5 according to yoga. And every one of us, whether we are haves or we are have-nots, all of us can attenuate our kleshas, can weaken our kleshas, and then we can have happiness. Actually, this is misconception on part of many people, that when they enjoy TV program and other things which they can afford even in this lockdown period, and eatables and whatnot, they think that they are enjoying. Actually, it is something tiresome thing they are having. After some time, they also become tired. But they have this comparative kind of feeling that they are better off than others. Yes, they are right. But then they are not necessarily happy. The person who cannot afford all these things, if he or she thinks that he is miserable because they do not have such kind of, say, high standard living and so forth, and therefore they are miserable, they are also wrong. In fact, misery is lying in kleshas. And kleshas, unless or until are weakened, we cannot hope for any kind of happiness. This is the experience of many, and yoga tells us very emphatically. Now you will ask, what to do for that? How to attenuate or weaken kleshas? We have such practices like Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga means very simplified meditative practices evolved by yogis those who, out of compassion for the common man, evolved such techniques. Simplified meditation technique, whereby even task-oriented person, type A personality, who is always on the go, such kind of people can also practice. Otherwise, you see, it becomes very tough for people who are type A personality. And if you ask them to sit for 5 minutes, it's a kind of punishment. They cannot. But for them, if you say that, well, do this technique, which is somewhere intermediate one, that is not very much requiring a quite meditative mood, they can do it. Such techniques are known as Kriya Yoga techniques. In Kaivalyadhama tradition, we have such technique also. There are 79 different techniques according to a book by Bihar School of Yoga. 79 techniques. Ours is the technique, Kaivalyadhama tradition is the one where Kriya Yoga is most simplified to my opinion. It is tapas swadhyaya ishwar pranidhan, and what you have to have practice of is 10 rounds of Anulom Vilom Pranayama, 10 rounds of Onkar, 10 rounds of Gayatri Mantra. The roots of this technique is available in Manusmriti. Ekaksharam param brahma, pranayama param tapah, gayatryastu param naste, pavanam paramam smritam. So the root of Kaivalyadhama Kriya Yoga is there in Manusmriti, and it really works. But if you say that, well, Gayatri Mantra is something we cannot, for obvious reasons, then you have your own mantra of your religion. You can very much decide that. It could be Navkar Mantra, it could be Muslim Mantra, it could be any other mealtime prayer in Christians. That's okay. But there's a wonderful mantra in Islam, Kul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid walam yulad, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. This is simply description, or rather eulogy of Purusha. The Purusha concept is there. The same Purusha concept what we have, it is there in Islam. Of course, you will say that Islam came later and therefore they have, whatever is the reason, but it is there. Any other mantra also. And if you have any reservations for or against, say, Onkar, you can also choose Amin or Amen. But the method should be very perfectly done as per tradition.
So we will go through the Kriya Yoga, the technique of chanting in our next episode. But my last question for today, as we wrap up this episode, is during my whole process right now, so I'm going to speak as a layperson and sharing my experience, that I am slowly finding that distracting myself by watching television or going on social media and trying to understand or trying to make sense of the current situation between what is real, what is conspiracy, it's not giving me the kind of satisfaction. But when I do sit in meditation, I'm able to sit without guilt. For example, when I'm watching TV or distracting myself on social media, I'm feeling guilty about other people who are suffering. But when I'm sitting in meditation, and especially the mantras that you have shared, I don't feel that. I don't feel that guilt. In fact, I feel more love. I feel more compassion. I feel like I am actually doing something for the community.
Good.
Do you think this is a placebo, or is it?
No, it is a good effect, because whenever you are in meditation, you are not for the worldly kind of pleasures, for good reason, because your awareness is on expansion side. And therefore you see through the things in proper perspective, objectively. And therefore the reality gets expressed at that time. And it will happen to even a person who cannot afford anything, and he is sitting there and having a kind of deep peace within. That's what many yogis sannyasins who are still there in Himalayas are experiencing. No one is there to talk to, but they have wonderful expressions on their face. Even the greatest of industrialists would not have. What a calm face. And they don't have anything. It proves that if we can do away with our kleshas, we are happy. Whether we are rich or we are poor. Makes no difference. Nothing can prevent us from having our own happiness within. Nothing can.
So thank you so much, Bhogalji. And thank you everyone for tuning in to Sundays with Kaivalyadhama. In our next episode, we will try and understand kleshas. We'll try and understand the correct method of chanting mantras and the correct method of chanting your syllable of A-M, whether it's Om, Ameen, or Amen. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. Namaste.
Namaskar.
And see you soon.